Have you ever felt stuck? Trapped in a life that feels like it was built for someone else? You go through the motions, day after day, a ghost in your own story. The same job, the same conversations, the same four walls closing in on you. You tell yourself it's normal, that this is just what life is. But deep down, a quiet voice whispers that you're slowly disappearing. This is a story about that whisper becoming a roar. It's about the moment a person realizes that staying put is a slower, more painful way to fade away than leaving. It's about the deafening silence of a decision made in the dead of night. Imagine this, a city apartment, bathed in the cold. Artificial glow of streetlights filtering through the blinds. Everything is exactly as it should be. The mail is on the counter, the keys are by the door, and a phone sits on the table. It's screen dark, but its owner isn't sleeping. He's standing by the window, watching the rain streak down the glass, blurring the world outside. Each drop is like a tick of a clock he can no longer ignore. For years, he'd been building this life, brick by brick. The career everyone approved of, the friendships that ran on routine, the comfort of the predictable. But comfort can be a cage. He remembers laughter that didn't reach his eyes, conversations that felt like reciting lines from a script, and the hollow ache of loneliness in a crowded room. Flashes of forced smiles at office parties, of nodding along to dreams that weren't his, of looking in the mirror and seeing a stranger staring back. He tried to fix it. He tried to be more grateful, to focus on the good. He tried to convince himself that this was enough. But trying to force a puzzle piece where it doesn't fit only damages the piece. He was becoming worn down, frayed at the edges. The joy was leaking out, replaced by a quiet, persistent exhaustion. The environment that was supposed to sustain him was actually draining him. One tiny compromise at a time, sometimes. The most radical act of self-preservation is to simply walk away, not with a bang, but with a quiet click of a closing door. That night, he makes a choice. No grand announcement, no dramatic confrontation, no tearful goodbyes. Because what is there to say? How do you explain that you have to leave to find yourself? How do you articulate a feeling that has been growing inside you for years? A feeling as deep and certain as your own heartbeat. He picks up a single suitcase, packed with only what he needs. He looks at the phone on the table one last time. It represents 1,000 obligations, a web of expectations he can no longer bear. Leaving it behind is not an act of cowardice, but an act of courage. It's a declaration of independence. He is reclaiming his own narrative. He walks out into the rain-slicked street. The city lights, once a symbol of ambition and opportunity, now look like the bars of a beautiful prison. He doesn't look back. Each step is deliberate, heavy with the weight of the past, but light with the promise of an unknown future. The sound of his footsteps on the wet pavement is the only sound that matters. He finds his way to the train station, a cathedral of departures and arrivals. It's a place of transition, a limbo between what was and what will be. He buys a ticket to a place he's never been, a name chosen at random from the board. The destination doesn't matter as much as the journey itself, the act of moving. As the train pulls away from the platform, the city he once called home becomes a blur of fading lights. He watches it shrink in the distance until it's just another star in the night sky. He isn't running away from his problems. He's running towards a solution. He's running towards himself. There's a misconception that every ending needs closure, that we need to have the final word, to explain ourselves, to receive an apology or an understanding. But sometimes, closure isn't a conversation. Sometimes, closure is a silent acceptance that a chapter is over. It's the peace that comes from no longer fighting a battle that cannot be won. No drama, no final. Searing words, just peace. Walking away from what no longer serves you is one of the hardest things you can do. It goes against everything we're taught about loyalty and perseverance. But perseverance in the wrong direction is not a virtue. Staying in a situation that is slowly dimming your light isn't loyalty. It's a slow surrender. The bravest thing you can ever do is choose yourself. As the train slices through the darkness, carrying him towards a new dawn, he feels a sense of calm he hasn't felt in years. The future is a blank page, and for the first time, he holds the pen. It's terrifying, yes, but it's also liberating. He has left the noise behind, The expectations, the judgments, the constant, low-grade hum of a life that didn't fit. The journey is long. He passes through sleeping towns and dark forests. With every mile, he feels the weight lifting. He's not just putting physical distance between himself and his old life. He's creating emotional and spiritual space. Space to breathe. Space to heal. Space to remember who he was before the world told him who he should be. He finally arrives. The sun is rising over a new city, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. He steps off the train, takes a deep breath of the cool morning air, and walks towards a hill overlooking this new, unfamiliar landscape. He stands there, a solitary figure against the vastness of the world. He has no plan, no connections, no safety net. All he has is himself, and for the first time in a very long time, that feels like more than enough. He is not lost. He is free. This story isn't just about him. It's about the part of all of us that yearns for something more, something authentic. It's a reminder that it's okay to let go. It's okay to walk away from the job, the relationship, the city, the habit that is holding you back. Your peace is worth more than their understanding. Your future is worth more than your past. Sometimes, the most powerful statement you can make is the silence left in your absence. If you feel that whisper, listen to it. It knows the way. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content that explores the deeper journeys of life. Take care of yourselves.